Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulunding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gash, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gash Group also provides the best security company, Gash Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gash Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gash on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gash Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.gashglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gash.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dul dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. Mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. Pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
It's a warm reception to our studio here in Serekunda. This is Star TV News. With me, Maimuna Fadera. First, the headlines tonight. President Barrow's OIC Road store revisited. Capacity nourishment training in Africa Continental Free Trade Area underway. Road to State House. New political parties to faces. 500 seedlings planted as part of SOS BMZ project. On the international scene, Australia's scores arrested at anti-coronavirus lockdown protest. Taliban official reveals more about the group's vision for the future. South Africa anti-vaxxers harass health workers outside the hospital. Well, those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Excellency President Adama Barrow on Friday made an unannounced tour of roads earmarked for construction in preparations for the 2022 OIC Summit in Banjul. Jacqueline Colley has more.
President Adama Barrow is leading the charge in shoring up public confidence in Gambia's ability to successfully host the Conference of Leaders of Islamic Countries. The Gambia is expected to demonstrate its ability to host high-level international conferences such as the OIC Summit. The country is being entrusted with the mammoth task of overseeing a successful conference of leaders of Islamic nations in 2022. It will be recalled that President Adama Barrow sometime this year met the Secretary General of the OIC in Saudi Arabia. During their engagement, the president was upbeat that the Gambia was on course to making history by hosting a successful OIC conference in 2022. Few months after giving the assurance to the OIC Secretary General that OIC Gambia was on course, President Barrow on Friday replenished public confidence in Gambia's readiness to accomplish the mission of overseeing a successful meeting of leaders of Islamic nations by touring the OIC earmarked roads. Barely a little over a week before he heads to the Upper River region to inaugurate grand infrastructural projects, the president on Friday made unannounced tour of roads to be built under the auspices of OIC Gambia. President Barrow was accompanied on the tour by top-notch officials of the country's road authority, Ministry of Works, among others. Riding through rough roads and pools of water, President Barrow's motorcade was received by rapturous chants of warm reception in Sukuta. The presidential delegation proceeded to Bijilo, where some roads have been identified for construction. The president was met on arrival by OIC Secretariat and roads officials, who briefed him about the importance of the roads to be constructed there and their eagerness to set on the tax. From Bijilo, the president headed to other OIC projects, such as this one around the Brufut roundabout. The president also visited the Sukuta Nema bridge that the government built. From Nema, President Barrow, also accompanied by the advisor to the presidency on strategic communications, Fatou Jaumane, visited roads in Latrikunda Sabiji.
We have something around the Bakote Kware end, yes, and also somewhere around Otunawek, the power station, but those are optional for now. Okay. We want to see what how far we get with this one. So this one is.
The president also visited Kanifing to see for himself the conditions of roads to be built under the aegis of the OIC Gambia. The president had this to tell journalists after capping a tiring day of the OIC road tour.
Seeing the reaction of the people, you will know very well that they need these roads. These roads have been done years back. So definitely, I think the people appreciate what we are doing, and they are really very happy seeing that these roads are coming to start.
Jacqueline Colley for Star TV News.
A 5-day capacity nourishment training for various institutions in Africa Continental Free Trade Area got underway this morning at the Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center in Bijilo. The capacity building training is being organized by the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment in conjunction with the International Trade Center. Maria Madem attended the opening ceremony and she sent in this report.
The 5-day training gathered participants drawn from, among others, the private sector to deepen their understanding of trade in services, schedule of specific commitments, and regulatory framework about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area negotiations. The Africa Continental Free Trade Area aims to boost intra-Africa trade by providing comprehensive and mutually beneficial trade agreements among member states, covering trade in goods, services, investment, intellectual property rights, and competition policy. International Trade Center's representative, Raymond Mosa, described the training as timely and significant, noting that it will help in accelerating the country's economic development. He highlighted that the Gambia has growth potentials considering the 5 priority services sectors under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area.
See that there is so much more potential. Yet we do know how important services are, particularly when we talk about the 5 priority sectors, the 5 priority services sectors that have been identified under the African Free Trade Area Agreement for liberalization or for integration. Tourism, transport, professional services, telecoms. These are all sectors that are hugely important for the Gambia in terms of the overall competitiveness, in terms, of course, for creating jobs and for overall well-being of Gambian citizens. So I'm very happy that today we have this workshop. As I mentioned, it's timely as well.
The permanent secretary at the Ministry of Trade, Ibrahim Sisao, stressed that the training is a great opportunity that participants should take seriously to obtain the necessary skills to prepare the country for future opportunities in trade services.
This is on how to improve trade in services. Possibly this is one of the potential strength of the country. So the more we emphasize that and the more we try to unlock that potential, the better for the continent. So it is you that we will rely on as we build your skills to be able to do that and transform this country so that we take advantage of this big agreement within the continent of Africa.
P.S. Sisao promised that the Trade Ministry will continue to organize such capacity building trainings. Maria Madem, reporting for Star TV News.
All People's Salvation Party is one of the newest political parties poised to battle it out in the upcoming general elections, but it has yet to be registered by the IEC as a bona fide political party. The new party said it hopes to introduce in the country and Africa a new presidential system called the Kanben Mansa. Jacqueline Colley tells us more about this party.
Sambu Kalilu Barrow is the Secretary General and party leader, and according to him, some of the justifications for forming All People's Salvation Party are the promotion of good governance and eradication of economic dependence. 18 political parties have so far registered with the IEC, and the question is, could Mr. Barrow make any significant gains among this crowded field of opposition parties come December 4th? Well, Mr. Barrow is optimistic of All People's Salvation Party's electoral chances because, according to him, the party will introduce a new presidential system called Kambani Mansa. The second mission of the party, as per its manifesto, is to make the Gambia an economic giant of Africa in terms of income by creating over 100,000 jobs, mainly targeting the youths. Mr. Barrow urged Gambians to rally behind his party to promote the new presidential system it plans to introduce. The system, he said, would be internationally acceptable as a new democratic institution originating in Africa, particularly the Gambia. He said if the IEC does not register the All People's Salvation Party before the end of the registration period, he will stand as an independent candidate in the December 2021 presidential election. Jacqueline Coley for Star TV News.
As efforts are being stepped up to establish a green zone around the Bakote landfill, 500 seedlings were on Saturday planted around the area as part of SOS Children's Village BMZ project. Awasani attended the exercise and she files this report.
SOS Children's Village, the Gambia, through Haman Minor Fund Deutschland in partnership with the KMC, is currently implementing a project aimed at improving waste management to protect children and families in the vicinity of the Bakote dump site. It is against this background that SOS Children's Village's BMZ project has embarked upon establishing a green zone by planting 500 seedlings on the strip of the land outside the dump site close to the highway. The purpose is to support in the improvement of air quality around the vicinity. The planted seedlings can also act as windbreakers, smoke deterrents, as well as allowing for an aesthetic view of the site. The acting national director of SOS Children's Village, Ibu Fainjai, said Bakote dump site has been there for more than 20 years and has since been causing a lot of hazards environmentally and even socially. Hence the motivation for the project to, among others, protect children's rights.
This is opposite the dump site. It's SOS projects. This is our clinic here. This is our children's village over there. We also have other projects further down. We feel that it is our duty to contribute to the development of the environment and this area where we work in. SOS is not only about villages, but everywhere where there are children and families. It's our duty to contribute, and this is why we're here today. And we choose this place not only by ourselves, but in partnership with KMC, Kanifing Municipal Council. They are our partner, and they are the one managing this site. And it is through their authority that we have this site today, and with funding from BMZ, that is the German Foreign Ministry, and also from our SOS Germany, that is HGFD. So this is very important to us. It has not only been affecting directly our projects, but also other people who live behind. That is Dipakunda, Manjai-Kunda, and Bakote. These people.
He added that the communities of Manjai, Dibakunda, and Bakote have suffered a lot of difficulties thanks to the Bakote landfill, as he outlined some of the project's expectations.
Many. One, we would like to see that the impact on the families living adjacent to the dump site, they are not exposed to harmful hazards. We also want to see primarily that children's rights are protected, that there are no violations, that children don't walk in this site, they are not exposed to hazards, and the environment is clean. And besides, the families, we are targeting 200 families, and we want to improve their lives. And when we improve the lives of the family, the head of the family, the caregiver, eventually the children will benefit. This is why we think we have to come in. And there are so many other benefits. Today you can see that, can you see the fence inside, not inside there. KMC has done extremely well in.
The agroforestry officer of BMZ Bakote dump site project, Mustafa Dumbuya, described plants as overwhelmingly significant in addressing environmental degradation. He enumerated some of the benefits that the greening project could yield.
As a sink, when I say a sink, they will serve as a smoke screen, they will serve as a carbon harvester, and they will also serve in order to reclaim the already degraded land that we have in here. And many people will witness that or will understand and will attest that really people living on the fringes or the vicinity of the dump site are really affected by smoke by reek and stink that is produced from the dump site. So therefore, having such a beautiful scenery here will really address some of these challenges families are facing. And it will be very much interesting if I could tell you that during the participatory targeting that my director was saying, that many people are affected in terms of health around this area, that they can tell you, oh, my child is not going to school because he's having a heart problem or a coughing or an asthma. So
Yankuba Dabo is the acting project coordinator of SOS BMZ project.
Families and children within the neighborhood. And these were selected and were scrutinized and were admitted to be part of the project. Now the project has different components. These families, in the component of the project, that the project is definitely going to concentrate on and they will benefit is the FS component of the project. Now the FS component of the project, what does it do? The social workers work hand in glove to boost the self-esteem of these families, help them in income generating activities. This way they could be able to have some money to be able to support themselves and support their children in terms of education and health.
Meanwhile, the SOS BMZ project also targets 50 out-of-work youths in the communities of Manjai, Dibakunda and Bakote. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Awasane.
Well, those were the local stories. We'll be back with international news. After the short break, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh, producers of the finest tomato paste in the Gambia. Jaja tomato paste, available in 5 kilos, 1 kilo and in sachets. For wholesale and retail, visit our factory at Banjulanding. We are also producers of Jaja mineral water, cool, clear and fresh. Gosh, Gambia, Angola, China Holding, with headquarters at Fatu Golden Plaza, Mile 7, Bertel Harding Highway. Gosh Group also provides the best security company, Gosh Security, for your offices, warehouses, homes and personal property. Gosh Group for all your construction projects, offering you quality water reticulation for your gardens, pump irrigation, tidal irrigation projects and all types of buildings. You can contact Gosh on 396-7894, 700-8993, 373-0259. Visit us at Gosh Global Group on Battle Harden Highway, Fatu Golden Plaza. Our website www.goshglobal.com. Gambia, Angola, China Holding, Gosh.
Sophie Milk ñu ngi fété juróom benn ati cafka bu dut dañ ñoo leen indil Jalika full cream milk powder neex saf sàpp te bari cafka pour di leen jërëjëfati si ni ngeen defee Sophie Milk seen favorite milk brand léegi mun ngeen a jëfandikoo empty Jalika milk sachets wala carton pour gagner ay xéewal yu riche. Pour gagner motorbike dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty carton yi Jalika milk pour gagner yeneen xéewal yu mel ni PlayStation 4, TV, fridge freezer, gas cooker, bicycle wala mobile phone. dajaleel fukk ak juróomi empty Jalika milk sachets def leen si biir enveloppe binda si sa tur ak sa téléphone number. Mun ngeen ko yóbbu si bépp Jalika milk agent bu leen gën a jege. Pour xam bi si raful yi dem leen Jalika milk Facebook page. Jalika milk mooy meew bu ees bu leen so fi indil gën a neex saf sàpp te riche.
Welcome back after that commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is Star TV News from our studios here in Serekunda. And now the news beyond our borders. Hundreds of people have been arrested in Australia after anti-lockdown protests turned violent. It came on the same day health authorities reported a record 900 new infections in a single day, most of them in Sydney. Al Jazeera's Priyanka Gupta reports.
On the day Australia recorded its highest number of COVID-19 infections, thousands of people protested across several cities against lockdowns. In Melbourne and Sydney, protesters broke through police lines and fought with officers. Millions of people in and around some of the country's largest cities have been under lockdown for weeks. But cases of the highly contagious Delta variant are still rising.
No matter how hard we work and no matter if 99% of people are doing the right thing, there's an element of Delta that nobody can control. And that is what we have to accept. And the best way we can protect ourselves, the best way we can look forward to freedom is by making sure that we get vaccinated.
The outbreak in Australia has spread to neighbouring New Zealand that was free of COVID-19 for 6 months until Tuesday, but is now under a snap nationwide lockdown.
No one wants an extended lockdown, and no one wants to see that rate of transmission. So the number one thing everyone can do right now is reduce down your contacts and ensure you stick to your bubble.
Like New Zealand, Vietnam had also avoided the worst of the pandemic, but not anymore. 10 million people in Ho Chi Minh City will be barred from leaving their homes from Monday. The government is deploying soldiers to deliver food and aid to people facing the nation's toughest COVID-19 restrictions to date.
The pandemic is getting more and more serious in Ho Chi Minh City. Many COVID-19 patients will have to receive treatment at home, so we are forming mobile medical teams to help them at their homes.
And for the first time, the Pacific nation of Palau has reported a COVID-19 infection, losing its status as one of the very few countries to be spared by the pandemic. But with more than 80% of its population fully vaccinated, the government says the island is COVID safe. Priyanka Gupta, Al Jazeera.
Abdul Kahar Bahi from the Taliban's Cultural Commission spoke to Al Jazeera in the group's first official interview. Since it took control of Kabul a week ago, he revealed more about the Taliban's vision for the future. More in this report.
The consultations are ongoing, and of course it is going to be an inclusive system. We are in talks, and we have a relationship, a working relationship with the Americans about the security arrangement. And the outside checkposts are in our control, and inside is under the control of the United States forces. And they're in constant contact with one another. It is very unfortunate for people to be rushing to the airport the way they are at the moment. I think it would have been much better, because we have announced general amnesty for everyone, the security forces from senior to the junior level. And this fear or this hysteria that has taken place is unfounded. The developments were so fast that all people were taken by surprise. And when we entered Kabul, and it was not pre-planned, because we announced initially that we do not want to enter Kabul, and we want to reach a political solution before entering Kabul and making a joint and inclusive government. But what happened was that the security forces left, and they abandoned their places, and we were forced to ask our forces to enter and take over security. The point of intra-Afghan talks was precisely that we come to an agreement about what those rights actually entail. Sharia law is known to everyone, and there's no ambiguities about the rights of women, the rights of men, not only women, but also the rights of men and children. And right now we're at a situation that hopefully during the consultations there will be clarifications about what those rights are. Our foremost priority is discipline in our own ranks, and not enforcing laws on others, but enforcing it on ourselves first, and then giving it as an example for the rest of society to follow suit. So we are the first ones, and our members, if they are involved in such things, will be the first to be prosecuted. Well, I don't think people believe we are terrorists. I think it's just the war on terror. It was just a term coined by the United States, and anyone that did not fall in line were labeled terrorists.
Vaccine hesitancy and resistance are hindering efforts in South Africa to contain a third wave of COVID-19. The problem is being fueled by misinformation and mistrust in the government. South Africa started offering vaccinations to all citizens over the age of 18 from Friday. A group of anti-vaccine protesters faced off with health workers outside Groote Hospital in Cape Town. Al Jazeera's Robin Smith reports from Cape Town, South Africa.
These were the scenes outside Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town on Saturday, when a group of people opposed to vaccinations, many without masks, gathered to make their voices heard.
Since it's called an experimental drug, I'm definitely not going to be a lab rat.
I'm against this forceful vaccine. I mean, nobody knows what it contains.
Receiving the jab is not mandatory in South Africa, and authorities say no vaccine-related deaths have occurred in the country. But more than 78,000 people have died from COVID-19.
Nobody dies from anything else except COVID.
Do you believe in COVID?
No. No, not at all. It does not exist.
I don't believe in it.
So what do you mean? Because you're saying I had it, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, I had it. I did have it. Yeah, I had it. I had it in December.
These people are protesting against the vaccine outside one of the city's busiest hospitals. But critics say their choice of venue disrespects the hard work being done inside by medical professionals. Doctors say they're traumatized by the daily burden of treating COVID-19 patients and making the difficult decision between who lives and who dies.
I work there. I'm an anesthetist in this hospital. This hospital is full of people that are dying, that are dying. Our ICUs are completely and utterly full of young people between 20 and 40 and 50 that are dying.
You told me not to touch you. Who are you referring to as COVID idiots?
Yes,
are you saying me I'm an idiot?
Yes,
and what do you think you are? You want to call me an idiot, but you don't want me to touch you. That's a bloody insult. You are the idiot.
While those protesting against vaccines are a minority in South Africa, experts warn their messages and actions could influence other people.
They're spreading misinformation. If they don't want to be vaccinated, stay home. Don't go and get vaccinated, don't register. But don't do the dangerous things. Don't be reckless. Don't risk other people's lives by protesting over a non-issue.
These people have no idea, not the faintest idea what's happening behind there. Their ignorance is just outrageous and it's disgraceful.
Only 12% of the population have been fully vaccinated, and authorities say COVID wards are filled with unvaccinated people. They're in a race to ensure millions more in South Africa get the jab before an expected fourth wave hits at the end of the year. Robin Smith, Al Jazeera, Cape Town.
Well, before we end the news, a quick recap of our main headlines. President Barrow's OIC Road store revisited. Capacity nourishment training in Africa Continental Free Trade Area underway. Road to State House. New political parties to faces. 500 seedlings planted as part of SOS BMZ project. On the international scene, Australia's scores arrested at anti-coronavirus lockdown protest. Taliban official reveals more about the group's vision for the future. South Africa anti-vaxxers harass health workers outside the hospital. That's all for this edition of the news. Do enjoy the rest of our wonderful programs. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful night. Bye for now.